Hello and welcome to THV11 News. I'm Faith Woodard, sitting here with singer, songwriter October London. We're so glad that you are here to celebrate Juneteenth with us.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, so let's get into Juneteenth. You're here to celebrate Juneteenth in the Rock 2025.
Yes.
What does that mean to you?
It means a lot. It means a lot. I mean, out of all the artists that, anyone can pick, I'm here. So that's a huge blessing,
Yeah, we love
and
that.
we're moving forward, and, Juneteenth means a lot, so.
Good. Okay, let's start with early career and early upbringings. Where did the name, I guess not the name October London, but let's start with your influence from your parents. You come from a musical background. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I grew up listening to all the greats, Marvin Gaye, obviously, the Ozzy Brothers, just so many artists, Frankie Beverly and Mays.
Yeah.
But my dad used to tour, so he played guitar. He doesn't do it anymore. I've been trying to get him in the studio, but, that takes a little bit. But he used to tour and open up for a lot of artists like Earth, Wind, and Fire. So, being in the house and then playing that music all the time really helped kind of get me acclimated to old school music and just music in itself.
Okay, and so you're talking about that influence. Marvin Gaye specifically, it seems, has influenced a lot of your career with the rebirth of Marvin. Tell me why Marvin was so influential to your career.
Well, first off, Marvin was really smooth. Out of all the artists, it's like that dude, he just can get up there, open shirt, sweating. And
little chains glistening.
Exactly. Just do his thing. He didn't have to do a whole bunch of dancing. So, it meant a lot just kind of watching him and seeing him perform in front of, not only just all the fans, but just the women and all that. So it kind of got me geared up towards that. And then watching, obviously, like Ronald Isley and people like that, Teddy Pendergrass. But he did shape that album for sure, because, I did call it The Rebirth of Marvin, but I was also scared to call it that, too. So, and everybody knows that.
I know.
So it was just, it's like, oh, you're trying to be Marvin. Like, no,
Did you get some pushback? Yeah.
I definitely got some pushback, even from the family, but me and the family are cool, and we hashed that out. Everything's great. I just wanted to let them know that I wasn't trying to be Marvin. I wasn't trying to fill his shoes. I was just in a zone, in a vibe, so to speak. So I had to do what I had to do.
And some of those artists that you mentioned, from the Isley Brothers to Marvin Gaye, these are artists that really influenced through their music, but sometimes took a stance politically, socially. They were very socially conscious. So where does October London's social conscious stand with being aware of the world around him?
Well, I'm still working on myself. I'm still trying to figure out where I'm at in that social construct. So
all of us are.
We're all trying our hardest to, but I think we're moving forward and we're finding different ways to find peace within ourselves and figure out how to maneuver around, just the social ability, so playing it safe.
So you signed to Death Row Records.
Yeah.
That is a huge deal.
Yeah.
Tell me about what that relationship means to you and your relationship with Snoop Dogg.
It means a lot. It was scary at first.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm signing to Death Row Records. When he first got it, I was in the room when he got the call that deal was done, and I was just congratulating him, and we were working on music and stuff. I was like, well, great, man. You're probably about to sign all these rap artists. It's going to be back to that gangster rap thing. It's going to be crazy. He was like, no. You're going to be the flagship for Death Row. And I'm like, what? I'm like, that doesn't make sense. I'm R&B. He was like, yeah, I know. He's like, I want to change all that. I want to change the narrative behind Death Row. And now here we are putting out this old school music, going to put out some newer modern R&B. And then also Death Row's for the first time bringing country as well with my alter ego, Sam Nash.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm doing country too. So.
Alter ego, Sam. Tell me about that, because that's a wow factor.
Yeah,
right there.
Sam Nash. Yeah, actually the first official single out of Death Row comes out, I think, this week.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm already doing interviews and stuff like that as Sam Nash in that character, all that. So you're gonna
get. We're one of the first to
hear
that.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
You actually are the first interview to even talk about it. Really like that.
So you dibble dabble in a lot of genres, and I feel like you're definitely not an artist that's boxed in. You do R&B, country. I've heard that you say that you would want to dibble dabble in pop a little bit.
Oh yeah.
So tell me, from a musical standpoint, why so many genres interest you?
I think an artist can get bored sometimes. You get to doing the same thing over and over and over again. It's like eating the same food every day. It's like pizza's great, and I could probably eat it for a good week straight. But after that, I wanna switch it up. So, I love R&B. I grew up on R&B first, and then as you get deeper into the music industry, you try to figure out ways to reinvent yourself, and also to just be a little bit more successful in your craft as well. You know, doing radio and all that kind of stuff, and TV shows and all that. So I wanted to make sure that I was in all aspects. Like, my goal is to have a bunch of plaques on my wall that are in different genres.
Yeah.
Whether they're number ones or number 200, it doesn't matter. I just want to, you know, show my son, my little 8-year-old, that you can do multiple things at the same time.
Yeah. And so it's you stepping into country. Talk about that significance of what it means to be African American in this industry and in this genre and country.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, they say it, you know, country first started with African Americans. So,
Right.
I feel like, you know, I've always had a place there.
Yeah.
You know, to you know, it's a heavy genre to be a part of, and you know, if I'm able to be welcomed into the country music vault, you know, then I'm happy with it. But you know, hopefully this new single called Countryman, it's hopefully it'll take off.
Countryman. Okay, so tell me about this song a little bit. You don't have to give us too much, but what is the vibe? Because, you know, Back to Your Place is such a smooth, sultry joint.
Exactly.
What is this one about?
This one has just a little bit of soul in it, just a little bit. But it's just going back on the country roots of just being a man, really, and just taking care of home and taking care of your family and taking care of your woman.
Wow.
You know, always going back to that. Like, he's an everyday worker. He's always working hard to make sure that the house stands and that the bills are paid. But
we love that.
Yeah,
we love
absolutely. Come on. So taking care of home. That's what it's about. Yeah.
Good. And so I feel like, you know, these days, you know, listening to your music, and I don't want to get ahead of myself, but it feels like you have such an appreciation for love and women. And I feel like there's an interview that I heard you say that you said, I love cars and I love women. But when you sing, it seems like you have such a deep appreciation for a woman.
Absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about that and how it influences, you know, your work.
I mean, woman.
Yeah.
Beautiful woman, right? Beautiful woman. So I've always just been really, you know, just growing up, I've always had family around that really appreciated a woman, took care of a woman, you know, did their duties as a man, you know, and I saw just how great a woman can be, you know, being in a household with mom and just aunts coming around and making sure all the men are fed and everything. So I just have just a great appreciation for women.
And you had uncles, correct, that were in music as well?
They sang. They could sing during like the holidays, stuff like that. They weren't like in the actual industry, but you know, they everybody would gather around and one person be singing, another person be playing piano. You know, they didn't do it out there like that, like I'm doing, but yeah, they could.
Okay, and so you talk about taking care of home and just a man doing what he needs to do for his family. Now, I read somewhere that before you got your start in music, you were dibble-dabbling in the trucking industry. Is that correct? Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, there's actually a single on the Sam Nash album that's called Trucker. I forget what I named it. It's about being a trucker and always leaving and coming home. But once again, taking care of home even though you're on the road. So yeah, I was going to be a trucker. Before I got signed to Snoop, about 3 months prior to that, I was graduating truck driving school. Never got to graduate truck driving school at all. I left. I was like, oh, Snoop, come on. Either finish it.
I think you picked Snoop Dogg over trucking.
Yeah, I did. But you know, trucking is definitely a part of the backbone of you know, our world,
America,
you know, of America, you know. So you gotta show respect to them. You know, they're delivering our fruits and our vegetables and all. So I have a lot of appreciation for truckers.
Well, I'm so excited to hear, you know, what you're coming out with. Tell me how Snoop Dogg and Death Row Records, it really does seem like you have had artist development and a lot of attention and a lot of, you know, engagement when it comes from, you know, Death Row Records. So tell me more about that relationship and specifically how he's, you know, influenced and cultivated this album that you're working on now.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy when you say artist development because a lot of artists, when they get signed to whatever bigger label, they really go through like a boot camp. And with Snoop, it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
He was just like, hey, look, let's not just throw something out there because we could.
Yeah.
You know, he saw my work ethic, but he was like, you know, let's just take our time with it. So he was like, why don't you come on the road with me? Let's see how you are on the road, all that. But it wasn't like going on the road and 5,000 people or 10,000 people. It was 50,000 people in the stadium, and he saw that.
You and Snoop Dogg.
I know, right? But he put me out in front of that, and it was I didn't freeze up. It was more like, oh, he's taking control of the stage.
Yeah.
You know, or we were like, oh, now it's me and him going back and forth. So, you know, but artist development wise, it was just taking our time, getting everything that we can right, so that at the right time, obviously, in 2022, we dropped Rebirth of Marvin. But for this new album, or for October Night's album that's out right now, he knew that I wanted to move out of the Marvin Gaye lane a little bit. You know, I knew Rebirth of Marvin was kind of set in stone of that. October Nights, when it starts, it has that, but then it starts to go into my own. It starts to be the beautiful ballads. I got a ballad called Time on there that's totally kind of Pop-Adele-ish, you know. So we wanted to make sure it was a differentiality to it.
Now talk about, you know, what it means to be on stage. You know, when you look out at the faces of the people who listen to your music, I mean, what does that feel like to you as an artist to stand up there and be like, I'm singing my stuff and these people are loving it? Talk about that moment.
I mean, things have happened pretty quick. So, you know, I'm still really grasping it. You know, it's like I look out there and I'm like, wow, there's, you know, all these thousands of people, but they're singing the songs. It's different if they're just standing there and they don't know the songs and you're like this new artist, which is great too, but hearing thousands of people sing your lyrics, I mean, front to back is insane. Oh,
I randomly burst out and I'm like, take me.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, randomly.
When you hear a stadium do that, it's crazy.
Oh my goodness.
It's crazy.
And so I was doing some research on you, and in another interview you said, you know, you were talking about what your pre-game or pre-show looks like. And you said a lot of artists do a lot of different things, but for you, yours is particular.
Yeah, it's particular.
Tell me about that.
A lot of artists, they are, when other artists are around me, they're like, there's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way. Yeah. Every other artist are, you know, you know, they're doing that. They're drinking tea. They're lemon and honey and all that. And I'm like, okay, that's great. I just go to my trailer, fire me up a Placencia cigar, and I have my bourbon.
Oh, we love that.
And I just do that. That's my pregame. And then I take it on stage and toast with everybody and all that. So, you know,
so you would think that the cigar might, you know, mess with vocals, right? Not for you.
No, you don't inhale cigars.
Yeah.
So, you know.
See, I'm not a cigar smoker.
Oh, yeah.
But I like when I watch you do it.
Yeah. If I was inhaling cigars, it might be a different story for sure. Yeah. And I know a lot of artists that smoke cigarettes, but you know, cigars aren't like that. It's not harsh on you like that.
Yeah.
So,
well, good. We love that. And so a little birdie told me that you were also very competitive.
Oh, super.
You know, and so I know part of your pre-concert ritual sometimes is watching The Last Dance. Is it? Michael Jordan. I thought I heard you say that.
I do that. I watch The Last Dance when there are other male R&B artists.
Yeah.
Like on the stage.
Yeah,
I'm competitive.
Yeah.
Snoop says I'm way too competitive.
Yeah.
But he is too a little bit. And we're both Libras, so we kind of go back and forth. But I don't, when other R&B artists are around, I'm like, okay, cool.
But it's a good, healthy balance of competition.
Yeah. It helps me stay on my toes.
And so what keeps you moving forward when you talk about, you know, and obviously you are not in the latter years of your career.
Right.
You are just getting started. But going from trucking to getting your break, having smash hit records, what keeps you going? Like, what is I got to keep my eye on the prize? What fuels you?
Oh, it's 100% my son.
Yeah.
Yep, my son, my family, my friends that are around me. You know, I got my boys with me here today. They're with me every single day, so they're probably tired of me now about this time. But, you know, it's family, but always thinking of my son and thinking of his legacy and what he sees. And I guess he thinks that he's more famous than me at school. So now he's particular about what car I pick him up in. So and his friends, you know, hang. Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. He's like, Dad, I'm famous at school. I'm like, oh, really?
Of course he is.
But you know, me and Snoop have our TV show. We have Doggyland, our kids show.
Know.
So my son is on there as well. He's a character that pops up every now and again. So now the class, I guess, knows he's this dog character.
Oh my gosh.
So
so. You were influenced by your dad quite a bit. Do you think your son might move into music or be inspired by you and move into music?
Yeah, he is. Me and him have an EP coming out.
What?
Yeah, yep. It's called what do I call it? It's called Like Father, Like Fun.
Oh,
so we have an EP coming probably next less than a month, something like that.
Oh my gosh! So we got country, we got
EP we got pop, we got everything. Oh no, we're gonna finish out the rest of the year. We got 6 more months. So.
Oh my gosh! So any other additional projects that you're working on that we need to keep our eye out for?
Well,
give us a little something.
Snoop literally just called me a couple of days ago and said, I think we're about to put out an EP within the next 2 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I don't know, something for the summer, he said.
That's exciting. Yep. And I feel like you're always, you know, you're one of those artists that's always making music because you enjoy it. So Talk about what music means to you and the art behind it, and you just doing it because you love it.
Yeah, I do. I do it because I love it. It means a lot to me because it's a way to escape from a lot of stuff. You know, a lot of people pick different things to escape. Music is mine, because I can lock myself in the studio and just work and be. I could be a jazz artist one day and then be a pop artist the next day, but I can take my time with it if I want.
And now a lot of people might not know, but you're not just a singer. You're a songwriter. You produce. You actually engineer, you know.
Mix, master, all of it.
Yeah, tell me how being a jack of all trades is so needed in this industry.
It's definitely needed. I'm just impatient. I don't like waiting on people. I don't like being like, all right, yeah, let me call this person. I'm working on this record. Can you come help me write it? And they're like, oh, yeah, well, I'm out of town. I'll be back in a week. I need that song done like today, tonight. So, and a lot of artists, they don't do that. But then I think the newer artists, which hopefully I'll be able to maybe one day have a TED Talk where I could talk to these artists or these up-and-coming artists and tell them how the industry really is and how you should be a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
Because we don't have that. Everybody's waiting on everybody, producers and everything. But if Snoop wants an album by 6 o'clock tomorrow evening, he's going to have an album.
You're going to get that album.
That's going to be done.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, tell me, you know, when I listen to music, and I really feel like music speaks to me. I'm a music lover. When I hear a song, like a ballad or a good joint, I'm like, you know, when I know that it's a song that I love, I get chills. That's what does it for me. When you know that you've created a masterpiece where you're like, oh, this is the one, what does that feeling feel like to you?
I will say it kind of gives you goosebumps. You know, it does a little bit. But I think my thing is it's the next day listen. It's great right now. But what's it going to sound like tomorrow when you have fresh ears? We say, oh, it's fresh ears, because you're constantly listening to it and things are louder than what it should be or whatever.
Right.
But, you know, I pre-mix everything the night before, and then I get done with that the next morning. Now you have fresh mind.
It's a fresh mind, new day, yeah.
I make some coffee or maybe grab a Red Bull and I go downstairs and I press play and I sit there. And if I'm like, yeah, that's it.
What song for you, when you listened to it back, where you were like, this gave me chills, this is the one?
It was, I mean, on the Rebirth of Marvin, it was Mulholland Drive, even though Shaka Khan was supposed to be the one to sing the second part.
What? Oh, we love Shaka.
She was in the studio, and I was trying to rush to make the song. I made that record in like 30 minutes.
Stop.
And then, I wrote everything.
Stop.
Because I'm not writing. I'm just going off the dome.
Oh, my gosh.
So I did that, ran up in there, but she had already done like 3 or 4 songs for Snoop already. So I was like, oh, I missed it. Shaka was supposed to do that.
Oh, my gosh.
Yep. So, you know, I did that. But Mulholland Drive was the one where I was like, oh, this is going to be it. I didn't know Back to Your Place was going to be the first single or the first hit. I thought it was going to be Mulholland Drive.
I love that. And you know what? Honestly, that is my jam. And I feel like, and I don't want to get, you know, too crazy, but I feel like men don't beg in music anymore. Like, I'm a Jodeci lover. You know, I'm a 112, you know, lover. I love R&B.
So you like Singing in the Rain.
Right.
You know,
Get your boombox.
You have to do
hold
this.
It up, sing
you gotta,
in the
you
rain
got to
for
point
me.
to her and bring her close without doing, all that good stuff.
But you do that. And do you feel like we need more of that? When you're talking about real R&B, you got to beg in that music a little bit.
Yeah, R&B is... I thought it was coming back. I mean, you know, I just think we need more R&B.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be rap, just like basketball players want to be singers or rappers, and you know, I don't know. It's something about just music and artistry. It can get weird sometimes, but we need more R&B.
Yeah.
We do need more of the singing in the rain, the begging, and we need all that.
Yeah.
So now that you say that, maybe I should do a 90s album.
Listen, don't say that, because
maybe I should do that.
I would absolutely love it. I've been listening to your stuff all week, and I already was a fan.
Maybe
so I've been
I should
listening
do
to it all week. If you do a 90s album,
I think we'll do a 90s album.
I'll be there, booking the tickets tomorrow.
I got you.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
I think I'm going to do that.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we're wrapping up here. I got one more question for you. Talk about, you know, what it means to be a Black man in this industry, representation, how people view you. Because when I look at you, shoes shine, suit, tailored, you know, you just represent us so well. So talk about what it means to represent Black men in music and greater society.
Well, it's just very important to me. I just like to look. I've always been a fan of, like, I used to buy like a bunch of GQ magazines and stuff like that. Like, I wanted to just be like kind of like the Rat Pack back in the day. Like, I wanted to be very clean. So to me, it means a lot, and artists need to understand that. Like, you can't walk into interviews and meetings and all that and you got to have people take you serious.
Yeah, come correct.
You got to come correct. And I'm more business savvy, now. So it's like I need that. And we were talking about endorsements and all that. And then you're this black man. You got to go out there and show them that, all right, this is serious. Like somebody's gonna write you a check. You can't be coming there with saggy pants and
you gotta make it do
white
what it
tee.
do a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're wrapping up here. Anything else that you want to add to this conversation? What you want people to know? Anything else that you have coming out that you're like, stay tuned. This is coming. Y'all need to look for this.
Oh, just stay tuned for me to switch genres on you real quick.
Perfect.
Sam Nash, single
Nash.
country man, comes out this week.
Oh my God! And the name behind Sam Nash? Tell me.
My middle name is Samuel.
Got it.
And then Nash because I love Nashville.
Got it.
Yeah.
In October, London. Give us the backstory there as well.
October,
I know you're a Libra.
I'm a Libra, so
right.
my birthday is October 17th.
Okay.
And then London, I had a picture above my computer. I have screens above my computer, and it was showing these beautiful pictures. I'm ambiance influenced. And a beautiful picture of London popped up.
Wow.
And I was just trying to figure out what the last name was going to be. And I was like, London.
Oh, well, I'm a Libra as well, so that's also why.
Hey, there we go. Come on.
Okay,
Come on.
I love that. All right. Well, thank you so much for being with us here
you.
today. Celebrating Juneteenth is so significant, and we are so honored that you took some time to be with us here today.
Thank you so much.
All
I
right.
appreciate it.
Thank you so much.